Yeah, Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W. Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9-hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep. Go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laps in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. We about to raise the bar. Wild card bar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card bar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card bar.
Yeah, what's happening? Hey, it's your man, welcome on. Randy Weber. It's Taco Tuesday. We here. We talking sports. Hey, appreciate everybody. Appreciate the love, support. Like, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. Hey man, I ain't even gonna waste nobody's time. Let's get into it. All right. Let's just get into it. So we got to talk about some NBA finals. All right. Randy, I know you still feeling good, feeling optimistic. I know you preferred that the team had won that game last night.
Yes.
Look, I'm just gonna say this. So far in this series, game one, the great comeback. It was people say it was a choke job. Yeah, whatever. I'm just kind of like, you left the door open. You let Mr. Klutz get in where he gets in. Karl Anthony Towns been doing his thing. Game two, that was just more. I just like, okay, yeah, the Knicks are playing better, and the Spurs look tired. And then game three, I'm just gonna be honest. That was a desperate ass Spurs team, and they played like it. They were desperate.
Certainly desperate.
And they played like it. And I know what a lot of the talk was after the game and this morning on the sports radio. I didn't even have to look at it to understand what they were going to talk about. Oh, they're officiating. And I look, I know how I rock on my on the podcast. I acknowledge the officiating, but I can't put it all on the officiating. That's just where I'm going to be at with this. But I will say this, as if I'm a Knicks fan, I would say, yeah, the officiating was some bullshit, but I'm also I would look at the players and be like, and I would look at Mike Brown and be like, you guys kind of should have expected this. When a desperate team is that desperate, down 0-2, they're going to resort to all kind of physical tactics and mental tactics. They're going to exasperate everything. They're going to try to beat you mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever way you want to look at it. And so when I was looking at that game yesterday, I'm like, yep, that's a desperate team. And I think the Knicks mentally kind of got taken out of their game a little bit because they just couldn't mentally make the plays that they normally would, if that makes sense. That's just kind of my synopsis of game three. You know, I don't think the officiating was great. I don't think it was bad. I think it was like,
All right, so I will say the officiating was bad, and I will. So I'll go through, since we talked last time before the NBA Finals started. So I'll kind of do like a walkthrough
Yeah,
the first 3 games with a little sprinkle a little bit about games 1 and 2 to
Yeah.
lead to what we saw, the crimes that we saw yesterday.
the crimes.
So game 1 was more or less a normal game. It we were both right that the Spurs were tired. You could tell. Even still, like, they looked pretty strong throughout the majority of the game, but as you had said, they left Brunson too much time on the clock. He helped get us back in the game, and then we closed it. And the narrative then was the Spurs choked, but it wasn't really that the Spurs choked. Like, yeah, Wemby didn't have a great game. Like, it was a fairly inefficient game, but he was 26 and 12 with 3 or 4 blocks. Like, he didn't have a bad game either. And the Knicks just closed it, and the Spurs couldn't outplay us. And that was it. Like, Cat has been really good this series. He's been really good this playoffs. Best defensive performances we've seen from him. I think that Cat and his bigger frame have been very important in terms of not letting Wemby dominate, especially in the paint. One of the things that we had talked about was also getting Wemby away from the basket with the 5 out, and in game 1 that was a huge success. So game 2 comes in. Game 2 is also Fugazi officiating as fuck. And that was very obvious.
Yeah.
And yet the Knicks won anyway. Game 3 now. So I understand the Knicks were not perfect. The Knicks were not a perfect team yesterday. I will not pretend that they were. I will not pretend that there was nothing they could have done better to make it too big to rig, as some in the audience might say. However, considering how close they were, if you correct the handful of calls that were officiated terribly, you could have an entirely different result very easily. Very easily. So let's just walk through some of the big ones. Okay. Brunson was not in Champagne's landing space. He wasn't. You can see where their feet land. Champagne's foot barely grazed Brunson, and he had sold it like his ankle was broken.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that call. I was not. I was like, whoa. And well, the fact that they actually went back and reviewed it to upgrade it to flagrant is what really pissed me off about that call. I was like, what? Wait a minute now. Like, hold on.
If you want to call it a foul, because I understand like the landing space is like super important. If you want to call it a foul, whatever,
that's fine.
But a flagrant is insane. Now, it's even worse if you acknowledge that Wemby just straight up hit Jalen Brunson.
He shoved him. He gave him the forearm shiver.
Yeah, exactly. Just threw him down. He obviously had lost his temper. And not only did they not call a flagrant, they didn't call a foul at all on that play. And way more egregious, obviously purposeful. Brunson's leg kind of maybe being like in the way enough that Champagne could graze it was obviously not intentional. Wemby's action was obviously intentional. So there's that, and I'll let you talk about it before I go to the next one, because there is more.
No, because like with that one, I don't like the fact that they missed that call, obviously. And I'm trying to give the referees the benefit of the doubt with human error, but I'm like, that's literally in the middle of the floor. How did you miss that? I was confused on that. And I'm not upset that they didn't upgrade it to a flagrant, because I'm not a component of, don't try to upgrade a foul and call it a foul now after time has passed, you reviewed it and then upgrade it. I'm not a fan of that. Like
I just want the calls to get done right. I want the refs to not do this. Yeah.
I'm with you, but like in that instance, I'm not irritated that they didn't upgrade it to a foul, but I'm irritated that they blindly missed it, like right then in their faces. I first of all, Wemby sticks out. So you
Yeah.
already
You don't have the excuse, like, bro, like he's like he's the tallest guy there.
Like,
Like,
and he already has your full attention as is, and you kind of tell me no out of all three referees, none of y'all saw that.
yeah, it's the star of both teams. Like,
Basically, at that point, you
yeah,
got Brunson and you got Wemby right next to each other. Oh, the two most important players on each other's opposing teams. I'm pretty sure we got our eyes on this somehow.
yeah. So that was crazy, but it got even worse because they were obviously targeting Brunson specifically. Stephon Castle with his fucking football tackle that was not considered a flagrant. So Castle, who I'm sure has got his name from all the bricks that he lays and what kind of buildings they can build.
That's crazy.
That man straight up just charged and tackled Brunson. Brunson obviously had hurt in his back from the fall. You could see him limping a little bit afterwards. He, by the way, in game one, had come back for that game for us off of a hurt ankle that almost made him miss the game. Now he's taking a fall to the back, also limping again, staying in the game, but they were constantly targeting him. And it was so obvious. And the refs didn't call a flagrant on that. That's insane. And at the end of the game, despite all of that, the game was 3 points, a 3-point difference in like late in the fourth quarter. Josh Hart inbound. The Spurs have 6 players on the floor, which is a technical foul by the rules. The whole defense with like the Brunson closeout thing is like, well, like it's technically in the rule book that is automatically a flagrant. Okay, it is technically in the rule book that 6 players on the court is a technical foul. You know what the refs did? Gave the Spurs a do-over. They never do that. I've never seen them do anything like that. Granted, there aren't that many teams dumb enough to have 6 players on the court. But I've never seen them just give a team a do-over, especially so late in the game. Especially so late in a finals game.
So important. Is it? I just find it shocking that the officiating has been so wishy-washy for it to be the finals, if that makes sense.
I think the reason why is because they want to extend the series. The Knicks have been sweeping teams. They've been dominating teams. They won game 1, so they wanted to make sure the series is competitive so they can make more money. As a lawyer, I know the elements of a crime when I see one. Fraud, corruption, grand larceny.
Shut your ass up, Randy. You said
terrorism, it's all there.
it's all there. You got all the elements.
It's all the elements. They're right there.
That's crazy. He said got all the elements for a crime scene right here. This is something fishy going on. What the hell going?
Mm-hmm.
I just so this is where I'm at. Where not just in basketball, since we're talking, but just in all sports, where I think where you have to be always evaluating your officials throughout the regular season, because we need to make sure that we have the best of the best when it comes to the postseason and your championships are on the line. We can't have this officiating going on with the championship going on the line, bro. And what are we doing, NBA?
Yeah, no, for real. Take that burnt, saggy, nutsack looking motherfucker, Mark Davis.
Crazy, bro.
Pull his ass off of the court and put in someone from the audience, even.
Like, what are you looking at half the time? Look, I'm all about getting calls right, but you know what's really been irritating me, and I know we kind of talked about it last week or a few weeks ago. Okay, if you're going to review every damn foul and determine if it was flagrant, we got to put a time limit on this shit, bro, because you're killing the pace of the game, and you're killing just the whole momentum. And when I'm watching it, and one team's going on in like say a 13-2 run, and all of a sudden somebody gets a hard foul and I got to stop everything for those stupid ass review. And then that team that was on the good side of that 13-2 run, and then say they lose this challenge, and all of a sudden, they're on the other end of a 13-2 run. I'm just like, come on, NBA, like we got to speed this whole review process the hell up.
No, I agree. I don't mind them trying. I don't mind the checks and balances of the review, but yeah, I agree. It needs to be paced better for sure. I mean, like, granted, because there was another one that the refs had to get overturned. Because thankfully, Mike Brown didn't put up with this shit. Like, I've never seen a coach so ready to challenge everything than Mike Brown was yesterday. Thank God he had the balls to stand up for us in that game. The Mitchell Robinson shove, like, had to get to a point of being a foul because it was reviewed, I believe. Ridiculous. Like, so, like, I thank God there are checks, but if you're going to do it, like, yes, I agree, it needs to be paced better. Yeah,
let's speed this up. Let's get this shit done expeditiously, because now you not only did you just kill the momentum, but now you got me waiting and waiting and waiting, waiting, and I'm just like, what are we doing? Let's get back.
Yeah, right. I mean, you know me, that I've been a big advocate of less things that are fouls being in the rule book, like allow more physical, aggressive play, and you also would, the benefit of that would mean the pacing wouldn't be interrupted constantly.
I'm fine if they let the
and games won't get screwed up by shit like this if there are less things to call.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I just think with NBA, there's so much that needs to get changed about the whole rubric anyway. I don't even know what the book of travel is anymore.
Yeah, facts.
I'm not. Maybe it's the old head everywhere. I'm just like, that man just literally went from LA to New York, and y'all ain't blown not one whistle.
Yeah, bro. So many times, just from half court to the net, dribbled maybe one time, maybe not at all. Just layup, nothing. And it's just like, okay, I mean, I get it. Like, they were gonna make it anyway because it was in transition, nobody was there. But like, either a rule exists or it doesn't.
Yeah. NBA still they. I don't know what the answer is, but I understand. You know, hey, get your Euro steps and get your gather steps and all the other steps in. Pick up, put down, pivot, footstep. I don't even know what that's step, but they got some steps. I don't know. All right, maybe so. I'm used to, like, hey man, 3, blow it. You know,
yeah.
They let them get away with a lot of carrying in today's league.
Yeah,
I get it. You want which? Hey man, Rayford Alston, Skip to my Lewis ahead of his time. He would flourish in today's NBA. Hot Sauce would flourish in today's NBA. The whole N1 mixtape would flourish in today's NBA.
Facts, yes.
Oh, they would flourish in today's NBA. Oh my gosh. It's because of all this shit that they deem so taboo, is so bad for basketball. Shame on you, N1. And then y'all pretty much adopted their whole flow of how you run your offense.
Right.
To get views and to get viewership and to bring popularity. It's so crazy how that worked. But I don't think it's all doom and gloom.
No, we're still 1 up. It's still 2-1. I believe Wednesday is the next game. Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So, yeah, in the Garden. Trump won't be there with the undoing the bad juju. Undoing the juju that Danhausen had put on us with bad juju.
It's funny, Danhausen said it wasn't my fault.
It's like I took away the curse, he put it back on.
Hey,
Bro was sleeping at the game, bro. Like,
hey. Now I'm just gonna
it
call
was
it
past his bedtime, bro.
Hey, I'm just gonna call it spade a spade. Whether you are a fan of the man or dislike his ass, I'm not here for that. This is a sports podcast. What I am gonna say is that motherfucker's a sports jinx. Every time. All right, so I got bit by the Trump sports jinx. Super Bowl, it's the Eagles, the second one, a couple of years ago, the ass one in New Orleans. The moment I saw Chris Jones shaking that motherfucker's hand, I said, "Oh, shit, damn." My wife looked at me. She goes, "What?" I said, "Motherfucker's shaking Trump's hand." She goes, "You don't care about politics. You know that, but babe, he's a sports geek. He's similar to Drake. If that motherfucker is rooting for your team, you get trumped." I mean, I'm just saying. If the motherfucker, if Trump, Drake, those are the two motherfuckers that come off the top of my head that are well known sports fans that will literally jinx a game that they pop up at, or they dabbing up like, "Oh, what's up, man?" Oh man. When I saw Dan Chris Jones shake that motherfucker's hand, I said, "Oh." Ass whooping later in the Super Bowl, I said, "Damn, you shook that motherfucker's hand." Damn. Hey, bro, people was mad about that shit. Hey, man. Hey, had you New York is tight about that shit. Hey,
bro.
The interviews. Hey, man, that motherfucker Trump, man, it's his fault. Hey, man.
Oh, for real. No, we were already unhappy he was there. He got the shit booed out of him.
Hey,
and then on top of that, he ends our historic dominant run in the playoffs by being there and sleeping. Man's always talking about all these physicals that he takes and all these exams, which, first of all, kind of weird that you need to take so many. But yeah, someone's double and triple checking, and then he puts out that hilarious exam where he claims to have the same BMI and health profile of DK Metcalf, and bro can't even stay awake at a Knicks game.
Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't be serious, man. Like, it's already bad enough that you're trying to get involved with the whole movement of, let me reframe, NIL transfer portal, which is so odd that all of a sudden the rabbit got the gun now. Shit ain't cool no more in the NCAA. So now we got to intervene and bring politicians and shit. That's so that's mind blowing. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to go off in a tangent, but it's so wild that for years in the NCAA, motherfuckers been making money off them damn kids' backs for years. And the coaches would get up and move as they will please. Like, I don't like this school. That school's going to pay me more. And then they're getting bought out of buyouts in their contracts, or they get fired and they came up. I can get fired and I can walk away with damn near $60 million. I'm just like, you coaches have always had the life, but let the players get a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then let the players have a little bit of power. And no, we got to get the president involved and Senate. And this is crazy to me that it has gone that far. And we'll talk a little bit about the NCAA a little bit more.
Yeah. Right, it's a good transition.
Yeah, but like, I'm just more like, golly, like, we can't sit here and have this man so involved in our sports world. We don't need this shit.
Yeah, no.
I feel bad for you Knicks fans. The moment he said, I'm I'm gonna show up to the game. I said, "Yep, y'all motherfuckers losing." And then the moment they showed his ass on screen, I said, "Yep, y'all motherfuckers losing for sure."
Bro, although the watch parties around MSG got banned because he was there. Like it was just a dark storm, rainy storm cloud all over MSG just by his presence being there.
Bro, this is okay. So last night, I think we got a true, I guess, both ends of the spectrum of being a fanatic, and you Knicks fans gave us both ends of the spectrum. Um, and what I mean by that, so here's the good end of the spectrum, and it kind of seems not so good, but it in a way, how I'm gonna set it up for you, it's the good end of the spectrum because the team hasn't had a winning season since the '70s.
Not a winning season, but last time we won in a
Won
season.
a championship.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
My bad. Since they won a championship, NBA
Yeah.
championship, it was '70s. So a lot of people weren't around for that. I wasn't around. Randy wasn't. Hell, a lot of Knicks fans weren't.
Yeah, a lot.
But here's the beauty in the fanatics about being a fan about sports, the loyalty. A lot of people were loyal. Knicks stayed loyal. A lot of losing, and they stayed loyal. A lot of disappointment, stayed loyal. A lot of pissed off, just negativity, mad as fuck, just mad at the franchise, stayed loyal. And it was evident.
Yeah.
It was evident when you saw the resale of the Game 3 tickets, just the resale. Like, and there were bids for pretty much courtside seats, auctions, damn near going for like almost $2 million.
Yep.
So, hey, shout out to the Knicks fans for showing that, hey, man, this is how much we love our team, man. Hey.
Oh, dude, I've been in Manhattan for a lot of these games, and just especially after game 2 when the Knicks won, like just the sheer joy that the city like universally felt. Everyone, New Yorkers don't fucking talk to each other. Like if you're anywhere, if you're a New Yorker and you're near New Yorkers, if you're on the subway or the sidewalk or whatever, like you know better than to try to talk to anybody.
Mind your own business.
Yeah, mind your own business. Everybody was just jubilated, and just we haven't been won in a way like that New York City genuinely since 9/11. It sounds like a crazy comparison, but it is really true. That's the last time New York City has been so united was 9/11. Like it feels like that. I mean, I was young when it happened, but I know that like we all like kind of came together in a way that like, and then that, over time dissipated. And like since then, like it has just revitalized so much New York pride. I've been feeling it. I've had Jada Kiss on my playlist. I've been getting them chopped cheeses, bro. Like
you said, I've been going chopped cheese crazy, bro.
Yeah, no, New York, like I've been going to bodegas like crazy. Like New York City. It really just a revitalization of New York City, New York patriotism, really. Like not even just New York City, just New York patriotism.
New York patriotism is such a sacred patriotism, baby.
Yes, it's like nothing else. It really, I mean, the fact that like our fan base, after everything, us being a laughingstock for a quarter century,
yes,
will still travel to other team stadiums to support our team in Texas. We went to San Antonio. Yeah. That's how loyal our fan base is, and it's genuinely beautiful. It really is what sports is about.
Now, that's the beauty. That's the good part. Now, the other end of the spectrum is we gotta, I know we talk about Philly fans for being rude and crude and just being disgusting, but I saw some disgusting fandom from some Knicks fans last night. And again, I'm not trying to paint the whole Knicks fan base with this brush, but there were some bad seeds. So amongst yourselves in Knicks fandom, y'all got to get this under control because y'all don't want the whole world to paint y'all with the same broad brush. Hey, man, I get y'all lost game 3, but y'all ain't had to beat up the Spurs fan, man. You ain't had to jump them. Like, hey, man. Hey, but I don't know what happened. All I'm gonna say this: I don't know what happened. I don't know the full details. Obviously, I'm getting a piece and clip of saw a man in the Spurs jersey. It looked like he was in a position where he was pretty much pinned down by a couple of Knicks fans, and they jumped him. Now, I did see some Knicks fans go in there and so like, hey, chill it out. Don't try to cool it out. But hey, man, when you're around a whole bunch of Knicks fans that is pissed off that the T didn't win that game when they felt they should have won that game, and I hope that the Spurs fan wasn't out there popping at the mouth because just one thing I do know about New York. I've been there one time. Randy is 100% correct. Ain't no talking to nobody. You mind your own business and you shut up. Now, one thing I do know for sure, they do not play about their Knicks, no matter how bad they been. You get to talking shit about the Knicks, you better know how to fight. That's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you got to do better, dog.
All right, okay.
This was person, Nick. This was person, Nick.
Yeah.
They had to do that.
Yes. Look, I will respond. I will respond in kind with a question. Should you or should you not protect your territory from invaders? Is all it? No, look, I'm just saying, if you're India back in the day and you see a bunch of British flags coming along.
Oh no, that was such a lawyer way to phrase that motherfucker. That was dirty.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And that's all I'll say on the subject.
What? Because you know how I'm going to answer that. That's wild. Oh, man, I am not falling for that trick. That was good. That was good.
You know what's just really funny? I was in Manhattan yesterday for Game 3, and as I was walking to where I was walking to, I see a group of people, and one of them has a Spurs jersey on, and my first thought was, that man's not making out of the city untouched. And sure enough, not only did I see all those videos, I'm pretty sure I saw that particular guy. I'm like 90% sure I saw that guy. I was like, I foreshadowed that.
I might have foreshadowed that situation. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I hope homeboy's okay. I hope that you're not concussed and no broken. I don't know, man. And the way that it wasn't gonna end up good for your pimp, because them Knicks fans was not happy with not just everything just got bad once they lost. Hey man, if y'all acting like that after that Game 3 loss, I'm not trying to jinx you, Randy. I'm not. But y'all gotta win this series.
Please don't.
I'm just saying y'all gotta win this series because I'm scared for y'all, bro.
Yeah. It will not be. It will. The city's going on fire one way or another, but it'll be a nice fire or it'll be hellfire.
For the National Guard. I'm just saying, call them now.
There's some videos out there that have those Knicks on Spurs beatdowns. There was one that I saw with a wall of cops that were just watching. Like it was a wall. It was a wall. They were like, They either it was they're Knicks fans, I'm not risking, I want to go home today, or it was good, fuck them, they deserve it because they're New York City cops. And either way,
it's a mixture of both. It's a mixture of both of those.
Yeah,
it definitely didn't like. Nah, I ain't got the energy for this one. And it's definitely they're definitely Knicks fans. They was just like, oh man, hey, once they get done whooping their ass, they'll move on.
There was one where there was a super tall Spurs fan that the cops literally arrested him. I don't even think that he did anything. And the fans in that area were actually they showed mercy on him because they were chanting "Free Wemby" because he was like a super tall dude. Yes. I don't know what ended up happening to that guy. We'll see. But it's look, whatever he's accused of, yes, he did. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I think but just in this moment, because it was game 3 and the Spurs were down 0-2, I think that was like kind of like writing on the wall, like you got to win this game. Not so when when we first started the show and I said they came out desperate. I mean, just the fact that you saw Wemby literally try to get Jalen Brunson out of his mind state by literally forearm shivering that guy.
Yep.
And laughed in his face. He's like, "All right, I got you mentally where I want to." And I'm not saying he's the reason why the Knicks lost, but I just think it kind of really shook the Knicks as a whole because they're like, "Oh shit, we ain't. Hey, these dudes playing on some real desperate shit." Like,
And that's why we got to be as desperate too. Like I need to see someone diving into his knees. I just need to just like oops, I slipped. I need to see if he's gonna put his hands on the captain, make him pay for it.
Randy, I didn't see that in game 3. The moment that all that shit went down, and it pretty much went throughout the majority of the game with just desperate behavior. I saw no one say, "Hey," on the Knicks uniform and say, "Hey man, we gotta match these motherfuckers' energy, or they're gonna take this game." I didn't see it. I was waiting, and no disrespect, but I was hoping to see it from Cat because I'm like, bro, you've been kind of like almost the driving force the first 2 games for the most part, like because I've been loving what you've been. I thought it's fair to say that he's probably done the best job against defensively against Wemby so far this whole playoffs.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we had talked about it before it started that
he needed to be aggressive.
Yeah, that one, he needed to be aggressive, and 2, Wemby being the NBA's golden boy and Cat being the guy known for having foul trouble issues, that when the two were going to get physical with each other, he was going to be disadvantaged from the whistle, and he has done a pretty good job of avoiding getting into serious foul trouble with it.
Yeah, that's a great point. And that was kind of one of the things that I'm looking at Cat. I'm like, hey, they letting you play, my man. Like get in there. And he's been doing majority of especially on the defense. And that was one of my biggest worries. That's one of my least worries after I've seen 3 games now. Yeah. I'm more of like, damn. And maybe it's just me nitpicking, but I needed him to be more aggressive in game 3 because we're looking at the margin of error. It's really not too. If you look at all the stats, say you didn't watch the game 3, and just look at the stats, like field goal percentage, 3-point, a field goal percentage. I think there might be a slight difference in free throw attempts. It's not that far apart in game 3. But if you just look at the stats, a lot of this shit's pretty much neck and neck. It's not too much difference between the stat sheet of the Spurs and the Knicks. So what that tells me is if you just didn't watch the game and just look at the stat sheet and you're like, oh, well, some of these stats are pretty much similar. So then what's the difference? I just think it was just that desperate attitude and edge of the Spurs especially coming down the stretch, made a couple more plays than the Knicks just did. That's really
and the refs, yes. I'm just saying the points were close enough. You fix all of those, you might get a different result. But yes, to not make it entirely about that, as much of it as deserves a light on it. The Knicks definitely could have been more aggressive in game 3. They could have matched the hunger of the Spurs, but they were 2 up. They were playing with their food a little bit, and hopefully they'll know better than tomorrow.
Oh, Randy, you just said it right there. Kind of slightly playing with the food. That scares me.
Yeah, no, for real, me too. But tomorrow, hopefully, that'll be snapped out of them after taking a loss. The first loss they've had since round 1. Since round 1, it's like I could see a team getting a little cocky, going on the greatest run of basketball in NBA history, and then now that's over. Now they really got to lock in, and match that hunger, match that aggression, and dive into Wemby's knees.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, I'm not, because I know what people, if they just heard what you just said right there, they're like, yo, that's wild. Why would you? I'm like, no, like, and after you said it, I was like, oh, in my head, I'm like, oh, that's wild. And then I stopped and I thought, I'm like, if they are coming out in game 3, desperate, willing to do everything to keep their season alive, because they go down 0-3, you might as well pack this shit up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and to your point, Knicks, you might have to start matching their desperateness and I think there's a difference between being like reckless desperate and being calculated desperate.
Yes.
And the Spurs came out calculated desperate in game 3.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think you got to match that. You got to match that calculated desperate. Just don't come out there desperate and be reckless just because you know. Oh my gosh, they took game 3. No,
reckless desperate can make you sloppy, which can make you even worse.
Sloppy, mistakes. Now
it can make you play scared. It can make you see them as the big bad, and that's terrible for a team.
Hey, and you can't do that in this instance because you absolutely cannot go back to a situation where you are fighting for the rest of your hang on to a lead.
Yeah, for sure. But yes, people will look at what I just said and be like, damn, that's wild. If Spurs are already doing dirty plays, it's just defending yourself at that point. Like, if all they're going to do is just straight up assault Jalen Brunson, yeah, you're allowed to defend yourself, actually. I'm a lawyer. I would know. So.
Well, that's the refs. And to go back to your point about the officiating, you can't. I think what you need to do is set the line in the first quarter on where the line is on physicality that you're going to allow, and you have to stay there
and consistently on both sides. And
you can't move, and you can't move the needle. Oh, it's under 2 minutes. No. If this is the line right here that you have set in the first 5 minutes of that first quarter, it has to be that line to the last damn whistle all the way through. Because that can help with the consistency. And then that, I mean, we've seen it, especially with in NBA, when you know what you can and can't get away with, especially when it comes to physicalness. All right, I know how I can play my game. I can get into my groove. I just for me, I just think it's more easier for an NBA player to find the lines of the officiating to understand how they can affect the rest of how they can play their game and how they can affect how to get to their how I can get to my spot, how we're going to run our offense, how we're going to play defense. I just think it's more easier for you to get acclimated when it comes to officiating in basketball than it is, say, football. I just think, obviously, the numbers wise, you got 3 officials on the court looking at 10 guys, compared to 22 guys in the NFL, and you probably got 6 to 8 officials, if I'm correct, on the field. So, look, I know there's a difference in it, but it's just when it comes to this officiating shit and this NBA, especially when it comes to the physicality part, like I just think they just haven't figured out where the consistent line is. Because I think there should be a myth. That's some, for me. I think it's bullshit to say, "Oh, this is playoff basketball." Wait, so regular season basketball, and why should there be a difference between regular season basketball and playoff basketball?
Yeah, for sure.
I think
it doesn't make sense. The rules should be the rules. They should be enforced consistently. Like if you're okay with aggressive basketball in the playoffs, like I am, like I want, just also do that in the regular season. I just want consistency.
I hear you. No doubt. But it's I think it's going to be an interesting next few games. I did see the rest of the schedule that goes. Obviously, game 4 is in New York, but then they go 1-1-1, pretty much
Right.
back and forth, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, it's
Hey, that's old school shit that I remember. Is hey, you get your 2 at the crib and 2 at the road, and then we alternate. So I'm used to that.
yeah. I mean, that's how that's all the series have been
Yeah,
working.
well, because I remember there was a few years in the NBA had done that 2, and then 3.
Mm-hmm.
You would if you had a home court advantage, you had the first 2 at your house, the next 2 on the road, and then if necessary, the next 3 would go be at your crib. So I remember they did play with that for a minute. I wasn't really a fan of that, but hey, I will say this: like or hate the Knicks, when you got a big market team like this in the finals, it makes it a lot more interesting. I just think so.
Yeah,
I think it's good for business.
for sure. Like, even if it wasn't my team, even if it wasn't the Knicks, if it was like the Lakers, like I think that just is more interesting. Like, it does add something, right? Like, it's like last year it was Oklahoma City and Indiana. And
Yes.
it's like,
It was how you sell that.
It's like, okay, I mean, like, I get it. OKC is the best team; they deserve to be here, but like, they're notoriously less fun to watch. Then they don't have the huge fan base and a lot of the discourse that comes with it. Like, almost all of their discourse is from OKC haters rather than Oklahoma fans because it's Oklahoma. And then kind of Indiana, it's all meth head corn farmers. It's like there's like 12 people.
Well, in my opinion, last year's finals was going to be hard to sell, is because, like you said, you look at the Indiana and you look at the OKC, both small market teams. No really outs, and this sounds wild. I know I'm about to say it. To me, it was no like superstar that stood out. And I know what people are like. Well, SGA is a superstar.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, if you get what I'm trying to say, is that for me, SGA is a superstar on the court, but I don't think like culturally he's going to move any types of like.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
I agree. Yeah, like there's a reason why he's become the NBA's villain, and it's partly because of the flopping, and well deserved. Partly it's because of the way that his teammates like he'll cry over a slight breeze, and then Lou Dort will bring a nuke onto the court, and like the refs call these things wildly differently. Like, so like that's a big part of it. I don't know, the general like TikTok girl vibe that a lot of those players, including SGA, have. I think also doesn't help. The fact that he plays for a small market also doesn't help. But like, yeah, I agree. He is, and that's kind of been the thing with the NBA for a bit now. Jokic was similar, where like he was playing for Denver, which is not as small a market, but isn't a big market.
Yeah.
Jokic was a superstar for a basketball fan, right? Like SGA is similar. Like, they're superstars for basketball fans. If you care about basketball as a sport, you care about the analytics and the stats, and like you're already watching that, they impress you. But Jokic is, and like just realistically, phenomenal basketball player, all the respect in the world to him. He is also a chubby Serbian who doesn't even really want to be there and wants to play with horses. And he's not big market marketable. SGA is a lanky foul baiting twink. Like, he's also not very marketable. That's why they've tried so hard with Ant-Man, because Ant-Man is cool.
Marketable.
He's cool. He's marketable. Wemby is now their project because he's an alien. He's marketable on basically that alone.
Yep.
Yeah. And so you have Wemby on one hand, who's the freak of nature, and then you have Jalen Brunson, who's the king of New York. And these are our two big marketable stars.
Easy to sell. And it has absolutely nothing to do with San Antonio being a quote unquote small market basketball team. It has everything to do with Wemby, like you said. That is your selling piece. That is your marketing piece, and let that be the reason to introduce the Spurs to your casuals. Oh, look at this 7'4" alien, Wembenyama. Get to know his name, and that's what brings the bait and the hook in to get people to the casual and get to learn the Spurs, because there ain't no way they're going to ever know who the Spurs were. They
Right.
weren't. And so that's your opportunity for the Spurs to show what type of good team you are and show what you get down, what you're all about. And because the Knicks could literally have a down year. They could not even be in this finals right now, and they would still get publicity
Yes.
as being in a big market of New York. They will get talked about regardless. I
Yes.
mean, we've seen it time and time and year. When they don't make the playoffs, when they struggle, when they have some ups, when they have downs, Knicks are consistently talked about, and that's just good for business. So this
Yes.
year's finals has been very easily to market to your casuals because it has all the right pieces.
Yeah. Also, yeah, the Knicks fan base, like all the videos going viral of dudes at MSG bugging the fuck out and saying,
Hey,
"Well,
hey, hey, hey! I'm feeling good.
good today.
Hey,
I got
what that
my
shit?
fly shit on.
Got my
My
fly shit on.
bills is paid."
What? That shit be having me feeling. I be like, oh, in the mirror when I be coming out the shower, I done lotioned up, I done got my outfit on. I be, hey, I'm feeling good today. I got that fly shit
Fly
on.
shit on.
All
All of my bills is paid.
I be like, okay, that's a whole vibe. So
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere too.
out of
It became
nowhere.
an anthem for us.
And that shit's a fucking vibe. So
It's
like,
such a vibe, yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, exactly. It's because New York has culture, and like that's the cool balance between these, because the
Yeah.
Spurs are a small market team, but because they have such a rich history of dominance and winning, the David Robinson, Tim Duncan years, then they got Kawhi in there, and now they have Wemby, right? Like, but like Popovich, like at worst a top 3 coach ever. Like such a rich history of basketball. And then you have the Knicks, who haven't had that in a long time, but they have the culture.
Yeah.
And you get two franchises that in their own ways are very respected and important, because one of them is respected in like a pure basketball winning sense, and the other one just is sports culture incarnate.
Yeah.
And I agree. It's like, I mean, like when we did my predictions, this was the finals that I predicted, and there were multiple reasons for that. But I am glad that I was right, because I don't think any other finals matchup would have been nearly as exciting as this one.
No. I hate the shit on OKC in this moment. I really do. Because I really do think they're a good team. I think what irritates me is the fact that they are a good team and you resort to the shenanigans of the flopping and shit. I think that's what irritates me the most. It's because like you don't need it.
They don't need it, and like I totally agree, because like I was, when I watched Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, I was entirely on the other end. Like the Spurs were the victims of that crime. Like that was insane, the way that they were getting away with everything. And I was hesitant to get on the train of OKC hate and SGA hate, because like I try to be rational, I try to be evidence based, so, but like there was some data that came out that kind of swayed me. Like it's just like, because there's the whole narrative is like, well, like is SGA just a unique flop, or is he getting special hate just because he's winning a lot? And I think like the data showed he falls down on his jumpers at a rate that's, I think, 15 to 17% higher than the next highest guy ever. And the next highest guy is James Harden.
Oh, well, that's not
And
good.
it's like it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue that we're all just making it up when you have data like that.
Now, if the guy wasn't James Harden, I might be able to give him some grace.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I might be
right.
able to give NCAA some grace.
Yeah, like 17%. I think it was 17%. 17% higher than James Harden, the guy who popularized flopping, that led the flop revolution. That's bad.
Well,
And he doesn't need it. You're right. He's crazy talented. He doesn't. He's a great driver, great shooter, especially from the mid range. Like he doesn't need to do that to score. He just like chucks the ball away and takes these falls. It's just like you're not even attempting to make a shot because
yeah,
you don't feel like you have to. Like and like I guess maybe also because Hardenstein was on the team, I didn't want to immediately go into hate, but like I I joined the what's the hive mind? I joined the hive mind on it like after game 2. I was like, no, this is an actual problem.
it's just obviously I'm more irritated with the refs because I'm like, all right, like I gotta officiate this shit. Like,
Yeah.
so I always, I guess my hate was never at SGA because I understood his game. I understand what he's trying to do. He's like, at some point in time, I just got to play my game, and part of that is to, you know, if I can get a couple of little cheap ones from the refs, then that's part of it. And uh, my thing is he's not calling the whistles on himself, so that's why I'm not mad at him. He's not the official. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, you know, I saw one play in the Western Conference Finals when De'Aaron Fox was guarding him, and he went up for that jump shot, and literally, De'Aaron saw it coming, and he literally put his hands back and just back, took a step back,
Right.
and you just saw like SGA literally do all of his power in his body to make sure he just like flail, and I was like, damn, bro. Like,
Yes.
I
So yeah, I got the actual numbers. So yes, it's 17.4% more than James Harden, who's the next highest guy, and the amount total just in these playoffs alone, 51.4%, more than half of his jumpers he falls on
jeez,
to try to get a foul. That's ridiculous. Like that's not even basketball anymore.
that's
Like
a
what?
coin flip.
Yeah, like what do you like that? It's just not like it just isn't basketball. Like that's ridiculous. And he's talented enough. He does not need to do that. But
God, ugh, damn. I'm starting to. I don't even know. Hey,
I mean, we're beating them while they're down, like because they're at home watching right now.
yeah, but I'm saying, like, I'm not a numbers guy, but like that's kind of numbers I can't like dispute. Like, can't even put context to it. Like, it's still
Yeah,
good, bro. Like, God,
he's the only player that's above 50% on this.
jeez. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, hey, end of the day, NBA. I hope you're happy, execs. You got a good finals. You got one that's very marketable, very easy to sell.
Yes, without SGA's sick sexual affiliation with the floor.
But before we get out of here, I gotta. Hey man, we didn't talk about all types of topics on here. Some obviously are the most, or some topics are obviously, low hanging fruit. Obviously, and we're going to talk NBA finals, NFL, blase. But we also talk certain topics that just to me just you know and this guy right here, Paul Feinbaum, I kind of got a love-hate relationship with this guy. But I'm gonna play his clip because he sounded off on this. If I don't know if y'all been following this Brendan Sorsby situation. Literally admitted to gambling during his time in playing college football, obviously, but The only reason why he admitted to it is because some allegations came down, an investigation came, and NCAA did the investigation, and they ruled him ineligible. He, through the Court of Appeals, was ruled by a Texas court to be eligible because now he's at Texas Tech. I don't know what the state of Texas is doing. Well, okay, never mind. I know exactly what they're doing. State of Texas, and he now is playing for Texas Tech.
Yep, and that is not the first time that's been pointed out.
I'm just gonna say this, Randy. Growing up, I've seen, whether baseball, basketball, football, at the high school level, if you matter, there's a certain, I guess, leeway that you kind of get away with the law, within your local town, whatever. We've seen it on a bigger scale. We've seen on college universities. We've seen certain football players, basketball players, whatever. They got some cachet to their name, or can affect their bottom line. Let's be honest. They get away with some stuff on the campus because they have some importance to the campus, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it on the pro level. Some players kind of get away with a little bit of something, because they matter to the pro team in the city. Okay. The cardinal rule in all sports, for the most part, is don't gamble on the game.
Yeah, it's why Pete Rose isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Isn't in the Hall of Fame, right? Isn't in the Hall of Fame. So not only does this dude bet, he's been betting on every team he's been on, Cincinnati, Indiana, because he's transferred. That this is now his third team, I believe. The guy has admitted to gambling. The findings have shown that this man has placed over damn near like thousands of bets, over probably $100,000 of betting. And the NCAA did right by calling this man ineligible. I had no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
So for the court in Texas to call this man eligible and grant him the ability to play this upcoming season, to me, is sending the wrong message. It's regurgitating the same message of you can do wrong, but as long as you can help us win, kind of look some shit on the rug. Kind of at some point in time in sports, in that whole community of sports, whether it's high school level, college level, pro level, we got to start nipping this shit in the bud and just holding these players accountable, bro. This man bet on the game, and if I'm Texas Tech, why would you want this man on your roster? Is he that good? Like Sorsby is cool. I saw him play in Cincinnati last year. He wasn't no Heisman finalist type quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he was very good, but so it wasn't not enough to justify this.
This to go ride for him in the Court of Appeals to play.
I have a lot of thoughts on this whole thing. First of all, Calvin Ridley might be owed an apology. I mean that seriously though, because this is and granted, these are all different bodies who have different rules, different enforcers, different courts, and I understand all of that. So I'm not saying it's a complete one-to-one. It doesn't look great for sports to have a history of enforcing this very strictly and then to give an injunction to him. It doesn't look great, and not everyone's going to look at it through this lens. Not great that Black Calvin Ridley betting on his team to win at home had like his career essentially derailed for like a year suspension. But Brendan Sorsby, white Brendan Sorsby, got an injunction. And again, NFL to NCAA, but the eligibility going into the NFL draft is also relevant.
I ain't even look at it that way, Randy.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably wouldn't. It's not a good look. It's also not a good look, and this is like it parallels to other issues in the legal world, because the reason why he got the injunction, supposedly, on the legal reasoning given by the court, was that Brendan Sorsby's counsel made out the elements, not the elements, made out a case that he suffered from a gambling addiction, and that he was doing this because he had a gambling addiction. Apparently $9,000 was gambled within the course of this period from Sorsby, and they made this case that it would do irreparable harm to make him ineligible, and so the court gave him the injunction. Now, you open up a huge can of worms when you start allowing addiction as a defense for criminal or rule-breaking behavior, because then now the court has to essentially decide whether you have an addiction or not based off looking at the evidence and how much weight they want to give that. It creates a lot of subjectivity. It creates a lot of imbalanced decision making, and also you could make the argument that actually makes him more of a danger. That actually makes him more of a threat to be a repeat offender because he can't help it. Like if that is what you believe, that he is, like, it's an impulse he can't control, it's now more likely, if anything, that he's going to do it than like a Calvin Ridley who was just at home with an injury, betting on his team to win, not to lose. I think Sorsby, and I could be wrong about this, I'm pretty sure he bet on his team to lose at times, that's when it becomes an even more serious conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the last point I'll make on this is it misses the point of why those rules exist, because it's not about him personally.
Mm-hmm.
It's about protecting the integrity of the wins and losses.
Yeah.
It's about protecting the money of people outside the game who are betting, because now you're, as a bettor, like, there's the concern that you just put money into a game that's rigged, because they're also betting on the game. They're betting against themselves. And so for all those reasons, yeah, I agree with you. I even whether he, like, yeah, he probably is a gambling addict. I don't think that is a justification to allow him to continue, because you're putting all of that at risk. And now anytime somebody does this, now you have to have this broad analysis of whether they have an addiction or not, how much you want to weigh that. Every decision is going to be cross compared to every other decision you make.
Too much goalpost moving. Yeah,
and then now you're screwing with the betting market for regular bettors. I don't particularly wish harm upon Sorsby, and I don't think that I don't think that he's like a bad guy or anything. But I do think rules have to be enforced, and they have to be enforced consistently. Just like what we're talking about in the NBA Finals. If you don't enforce rules with strict consistency, people will lose trust in it, and that people will also take advantage of it, and that is a serious problem.
Big facts, man. Big facts. I just think that it comes down to integrity, and I'm looking at, and I get it. Of course, we're in Texas. He plays at Texas Tech. I'm pretty sure there was a couple of Red Raider Lubbock fans that were on that decision making, and but neither here nor there. It's just the fact that the number one Cardinal rule was habitually broken. It wasn't like it was a one-off situation. I placed a couple of bets. No, this man was habitually breaking the number one Cardinal rule of NCAA, was not to bet on your games.
Mm-hmm.
And they made their decision. They said he's not eligible. And for the courts to make it, it's kind of like, God damn, dude. Like, come on now. Like, what are we doing? You know this is a blatant just disregard of rules, regulations that goes against the fabric of what you are as a court. You literally just went against what you are in supposed to take oath on is to be just and be right and be fair.
Yeah, and yes, additionally, it does not look good that it's a Texas court.
Where is any of this decision making? It just baffles me, and I didn't even look at the fact that had Brandon Sorsby had a different shade on his skin complexion, are we having the same conversation?
No, it's true.
And y'all know me, y'all know how I rock on my platform. I don't do all the race baiting and all that other shit, but I'm still a black man and I gotta call a spade because I didn't see my fair share of injustice in my own personal life. All right. So I can't say that the shit just doesn't exist because that's bullshit. I got enough testimony in about 38 years on this earth that I can show you some shit, tell you some shit that shit just ain't fair sometimes for me and people that look like me. So I'm and not to go too deep on what I'm saying is are we having this conversation? And Brandon looked a little bit more like me. I don't think we're having the same conversation. I think we're having a conversation where it's like, oh, he's ineligible. Oh, well, he can go to court as much as he wants. He literally broke the cardinal sin of sports, bro.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even be having a conversation of appealing.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even be at this point. It should be case closed. Hey, bro, you're done. Bye. Go do some UFL spring football. Go do arena league. Go find leagues in these states. So you in Texas, right? Y'all love football. I'm pretty sure they got somewhere for you to play football. Go, but you're done here. What are we talking about?
Yeah, no, it's true. Like either enforce it or don't. But it's the kind of thing that any sports organization does have to enforce, and they have to enforce it consistently. And we'll see when the next time this comes up. We'll see who the player is, and then we'll see what the court does about it.
And it's going to happen a lot sooner than later.
Yeah, for sure. You've now given the green light to players who feel like they might potentially be able to make out a similar defense.
Man, because I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be one of the next little young bloods. Hey, man, I'm going to flip my NIL money. Well, how you going to flip it, man? DraftKings, cuz. What you think?
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to hit up that FanDuel, cuz. Hey, look, man. This was always going to be a possibility of the Pandora's box being open the moment that this shit was going. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. I know at one point the NCAA said they were allowing players to gamble, but not on their sport. They have since reneged on that, and I'm glad that they did. But I'm not even mad at them in this situation. They enforced the rule, and I'm
right. Like honestly, like if he was betting on other sports, I wouldn't necessarily care. Like if Brandon Sorsby wants to get home and like bet on basketball, yeah, like whatever, because he has no control over it.
Yeah,
but it's because he was betting on his games he and his team were in. That's the entire reason you have these rules.
Hey, Randy. You know just as good as I do. What did they do to them people on Wall Street for insider trading information?
Not a damn thing.
Well, it's the same situation in Brandon Sorsby's situation, is it not? Yeah. It was a crime committed.
Yes.
It's a crime committed. Guilty as charged. Red-handed. Yes. Brandon Sorsby is red-handed.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about appeals, bro? What are we doing?
Right. And like if you're going to appeal, like the appeal basis should be like based off the facts of whether it happened or not, but I have an excuse. Like this never has been a thing before. And granted, and that's law is always made at some point. So like the fact that nobody had ever been ruled no court has ever ruled this way based off this defense before. Doesn't mean it can't now. But if you're going to do it now you have to do it consistently. And something like the excuse of gambling addiction is very hard to enforce consistently because the proof of addiction is going to be so different from person to person.
That's what I'm saying. When you say it's subjective, I'm like, oh, so we're just going to be in a position where motherfuckers is like, we'll move the goalpost.
Right.
Needed to fit this one, but no, it don't fit that one. But it needs to fit this one. And
right. And you're what? Are we always gonna have? Were they gonna have mental health professionals at every single case hearing about gambling, like to just make decisions? Like then you have the human error of that. Like expert testimony is a real legitimate thing, but like you're incorporating so many different, very subjective opinions. Like the judge is gonna have to decide which experts are make legitimate or not. Like it's so much that you've opened up now.
There's no ground basis at all. It's a foundation that is very shaky, very nothing sturdy about any of this right here. I don't like none of this. I really don't. I don't like the court of Texas coming in and messing with that situation. One, I don't like the fact that they're involved, and two, I just like the messages sending. It's literally saying, yeah, who cares about the cardinal rule about collegiate sports? How about that? Can you help us win, son? And I'm still can't wrap my head about it's Brandon Sorsby. This dude is not a Heisman finalist, bro. What are we doing? We really about to go head over heels and go crazy for a guy that is now transferred to his third team and come on, man. That man won't even sniff an invite to New York for the fucking Heisman finalists, bro. What are we doing? Like,
and not that I necessarily want the courts to treat better players more leniently either, but yeah, it is I guess of all players to be the one for the standard to be set for, I guess is like he's a good player, but like I'm surprised.
I'm just saying, Randy, I'm right there with you. I ain't for bending the rules for the players. If we gonna bend these motherfucking rules for the players, man, I better be he better be Bo Jackson status, damn prime time Deion Sanders status. I mean, he better be a bad motherfucker that I'm willing to go to hell and back over some rules and regulations and go through the courts for if I'm gonna do all this.
Right, like if Jeremiah Smith did it, then like maybe then like I could kind of understand why they'd fight so hard.
Yeah, I will fight for Jeremiah Smith to get that man. Oh man, fuck them bets, man. He ain't caused no harm, man. Let bruh play. Come on, what we talking about? Yes. You damn right. I'll be at the M City Hall first thing in the morning with Jeremiah Smith.
Now,
I can't even cap.
Yes. Now, another interesting question is: so we still don't know what the NFL is going to do about it. We don't know if he's going to end up having to go for the supplemental draft. I think that's the prevailing expectation. But let's say theoretically they, based off this decision, decide to let him into the regular draft. What do you think that NFL teams are going to think? What do you think this is going to do to his draft stock? This whole situation.
Oh, it definitely has to shoot it. It has to put it in the shitter.
Yeah.
Because my thing is if I already know that you are already having issues with the gambling when it comes to being in collegiate and there's only a certain amount of money he probably has gotten from name, image, and likeness and all that shit. How am I supposed to trust you with like an actual NFL contract? And this same behavior, because I mean the NFL has made ain't no bones about it. I mean Jameson Williamson, he just made a bet in the facility. It got suspended.
Yeah, right.
And he wasn't betting on NFL games or none of that shit. He just made a bet of another different sport in the facility and got suspended.
And that's maybe even a better example than the Calvin Ridley example. Like that, yeah. Like how much of a distance in the way they're being treated do you see even there?
Matter of fact, there was another guy. I don't know if you remember. I can't remember his name. I don't know if you remember this, Randy. It was probably 2 or 3 years ago. His name was Josh something. He played for the Arizona Cardinals. He was like at best.
Rosen?
No, I can't remember his name. It might have been Josh something, but he played for the Cardinals. It was probably a few years ago. He wasn't a big name. He's probably like a fringe practice squad, special teams type of guy. He got popped for gambling, and this was probably not too far after Jameson Williams got in trouble for his. They ended up banning him for life because he was betting on the game. So if I'm looking at the NFL team, I'm like, bro, you got an issue. You got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And pain it as much if you want is an addiction, but you have a problem. And how can we trust you on our team? Because for one, are you actually going to be able to, keep this under wraps and not bet? You know what I'm saying? Because you got the proof that's saying that you can't. You got the proof that's saying that you can't resist.
Now, right, exactly. Now, I also want to make this point, and I know that a lot of our takes regarding Shedeur Sanders have not aged well based off of the results that we've seen. However, he was a very good college quarterback. Brendan Sorsby is a very good college quarterback. Shedeur Sanders, in what it was expected to be, especially compared to the one Sorsby would be entering, a weak quarterback class.
Mm-hmm.
Shedeur Sanders went, despite like having elite accuracy, leading the Colorado team out of obscurity and like into like relevancy, despite a horrible O-line, all of that stuff, went all the way down to the 5th round because of his character issues, which were mostly just him being kind of cocky, believing like a little, having a high opinion of himself, having a dad who is also cocky, and it maybe bombing an interview or two, and that was enough for him to go all the way to the 5th round.
Yeah.
Let's see how the NFL treats the character issues of Brendan Sorsby, who has admitted to not only gambling $9,000 on games, including his own, but that he has an active addiction that he will take a lot of effort for him to be able to maintain control over. Now in a draft where they'll have more options than they did in Shedeur's draft. Let's see how the NFL responds to him and how high he gets drafted despite his character issues.
It's so weird because I was just thinking about it. I think you're 100% right. We got to see how the NFL treats him, however they. But like, it's weird because he plays quarterback, so he does play a position that is always coveted.
Yeah.
Right,
like Shedeur did, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if the talent's going to be worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, I guess, I mean, there were other, like, actual on-field reasons. And like I said, it has not really aged all that well. He was not good last year for the most part. Did he have the worst O-line and receiver core in the NFL? Yes. Was he on the Browns? Yes. Did he show flashes and have a couple of really good games and throws despite being mostly bad? Yes. But didn't age well. He does not look good. We'll see what he looks like next year. But based off the information they had when the draft was made, Shedeur was better relative to the other quarterback options than Sorsby is going to be next year relative to his other quarterback options. He's like, I mean, obviously Arch Manning is going ahead of him. Obviously Dante Moore is going ahead of him. There are other guys that he's going to be competing with, like CJ Carr and Julian Sayin and Nuss something. You might know who I'm talking about.
Lenore Sellers, yeah.
Well, Lenore Sellers too, but that's not who I was talking about. Yeah, I'm I'll draft QBs. I keep forgetting his name. Darian Mensa's another one. Well, there's Trinidad Chambliss. There's
Yeah.
Jaden Maeva.
Which, by the way, now that we're having this conversation on Sorsby's eligibility, I just thought about Trinidad. I'm like, this man is fighting his ass off to stay eligible down in Ole Miss.
Yeah,
the wrong state.
right. Oh, Nestamaker. That's who I was looking for.
Okay.
Drew Nestamaker. So, like, we don't even know where Sorsby at that time is going to end up ranking within those quarterbacks. It's certainly not going to be one or two. So
And if he play,
we'll
if
see.
if the NCAA goes back in because NCAA is going to appeal this.
Yes.
And so if they go back and win, and they keep going back and forth, but they're the last appeal to win, and he doesn't play, man, that automatically kills his draft stock anyway, because it's kind of like, well, we can't really compare you, like you said, to these other quarterbacks in this class because we actually got to see them, and we didn't get to see you because you're ineligible for gambling, fool.
Yes.
Like that,
Right. So that's that.
really-
Yeah. That is going to also be an issue. Yes, that will also affect his draft stock. So we'll see what happens. He may just end up going into the supplemental, and then it could end up being an interesting thing.
Motherfucker man take his ass to the lingerie football league and turn into a Jawan, man. Miss Brenda. So Sorsby.
That's mad funny.
I'm just saying, man. Man, let's land this plane, man. But yeah, man, this is just nuts, just crazy. But man, hey, keep your ears to the streets, man. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna be off next Tuesday because I'll be in Florida with Pam. So and Randy gets take his next Taco Tuesday off. He said lingerie football is malicious. I'm just saying, man. Hey, when you ain't eligible to play, bro, and yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I just want to inform y'all. Yeah, take next Tuesday off. Enjoy yourself, Randy. Spend some time with your friends and the family and loved ones. Hey, but please, hey, keep your eyes glued. That's why you gotta like, share, subscribe to the channel because I might drop some content while I'm on vacation. It's not podcast, but some content that I've been wrapping in my brain about how to creatively release it. So I might come up with a final resolution on that during when I'm drinking a lot of alcoholic beverages and some marijuana while I'm in Florida. So yeah, I'm gonna be enjoying that as I take the pain away of paying for Disney for the kids. Oh my god, I'm already I'm already fucking mad about that shit. But that's another conversation for another show. Hey, but no, appreciate you, my brother. If you need audio needs, Panther on Acid on Instagram. My brother
Panther on Acid Productions.
Yes, Panther on Acid Productions. My fault. For all your sound needs, audio needs, my brother got you. Hey, we're still waiting on. Hey, we need to get a GoFundMe because I be seeing y'all GoFund some of the most silliest shit in the world. What we gonna do is we gonna go fund. We gonna get my man. We gonna get you set up. We need to start getting you. Go ahead, get your whole legal company set up. That's what we need because you already passed the bar. We need to get you set up so you go ahead and start practicing. Get your own practice.
Yeah, I mean, right now I am practicing. I can't really disclose the nature, but yeah, I do want to do my own private practice at some point, and we'll build that up when it's time.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, and you might parlay this into some what's that sports attorneys because that might
yeah, no, that is a very strong potential career option.
Just saying, we can parlay that, and because I'm saying, man, or that, or you know, I know a lot of sports agents got a lot of attorney backgrounds too. So, hey,
Yeah, no, that would be the move. I've thought very strongly about like as like a long-term career option if I could be like the guy that works contracts for the NFL or the NBA for the Giants or the Knicks or something. Like that would be like my dream job.
hey, man, we gonna put that in the atmosphere, man, because I would love that for you, my big dog. But I'm not gonna
Appreciate you.
put you up. We gonna get up out of here. Y'all know what it is. Hey, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We out here. Holla at y'all. Peace.
Yeah. Silent Hill, TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W. Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to